Hello, hey guys, it's me. Remember how we were talking about Lego trains in the last video? Well, I think it's about time we talk about them, right? Yes, as some of you guys already saw and commented on, we do have a Lego Q1, or a Lego Neville now, and that's technically my first Lego train. Or one that's not, just a slight remix of something that was already made. Kinda weird for a first, I know, but hear me out, here's why. So before anything, technically this model is not made by me. This model is made by Seaburb Moment. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce this on Rebrickable. All I really did was find the instructions by the parts and, slightly remixed it to make it Neville. That aside, this is not really my MOC. And I also sadly have to say, if this is a model you also want to make, it's not that I can't tell you shouldn't, it's a very good build. It's just the process of building it isn't really the most fun, and it's sadly not the most sturdy as of now. Now, ultimately, that's not a problem that's too hard to work with. I'm sure you can make the model itself more sturdy. The instructions, on the other hand, are a completely different problem. Yeah, these are pretty much unreadable up to a certain point. It's all kinda at the same angle, so you can't see what the instructions are trying to tell you to do. It's just, here are the parts you're supposed to be currently using. Yeah, you can make do, clearly. I mean, I kinda have pretty much the same thing. But again, be warned, if you're following what I did here, it's sadly not the easiest thing, and you're likely gonna have to remix it in some sort of way. Now, all of that aside, what exactly did I add or change to make this model Neville, or mine? Well, first things first is the obvious gray radar dish on the front, which represents his face. Besides that, we also have a little bit of detail added to the top as well as a little back lamp, but eventually I'd like to go back and add just a little bit more, like say a coal load in the tender. Now, the keen-eyed among you may have already noticed this, but when it comes to this engine operating, it does run pretty well. It does have some slight problems sometimes going forward because I haven't weighed it down yet, but the middle wheel is not connected to the side rods, and that's just ultimately to make, turning a bit easier. Again, that being said though, it does mean it often gets caught and isn't rolling with the other wheels, as you can see here. Not too big of a deal, but it is something I thought I'd mention if you wanted to do this again. And the last modification I'd make would be the front coupler. This actually uses a normal Lego train coupler, rather than that of just some extra bricks. Kind of like the new Hogwarts Express. Now, it's not that this technique isn't one that works, it's just, I kind of, as you can see, am using a weird front piece. This is for the electric diesel that comes in the, I think, freight train? So the buffers aren't really the most accurate, and it doesn't really scream steam train when you see them, but, it does have a plow, and it is just a little bit more unique, so I don't really mind it. It's also a very, very easy thing to swap out and fix, so, yeah, there's that. And pretty much that is Neville. He's a pretty decent runner. I won't say he's perfect, because, again, he does derail sometimes, but he looks good and does perform pretty well. But how does he run? I'm sure you've noticed now he's not motorized. I didn't say that at all, did I? No, that's not in the script. He is not motorized, so how does he run? What am I talking about? Well, what you're seeing now, ladies and gentlemen, is a flat car, and the keen-eyed among you may have already noticed immediately that is a powered truck under the flat car, and that's pretty much what utilizes the motor. Now, the brake van, or a bobber caboose behind it, it's kind of like a mix of both, I guess, hides the battery box. And as you can see here, that wire to the battery box isn't really the most discreet. You can see it pretty much any time this thing is in operation. But I do plan to fix that if I ever do some rebuilds here. It's not that I don't adore the smaller cabooses, it's just, a little bit more space wouldn't hurt, I guess. Now, these two cars work as a powered unit, and they work pretty well, but sadly, again, kind of like Neville, they are just a little bit light. The caboose can hold minifigures in a variety of different ways, but can't really have an interior when that battery box is in play. But to get to that battery box and make, operating it just a little bit easier, the roof is removable, so you can get to the, turn on button and turn off button. It's just the same, they're the same button, you know what I'm saying. And really, that aside, the last thing I hope to fix is the brake rigging, or side detail. Yeah, as you can see here, it's really not the most sturdy thing. A good touch will just knock it right off. So maybe I glue it one day. I kind of don't want to glue it, that's cheating, but if worse comes to worst. But yeah, that's how I power Neville, and will power engines in the future that don't have motors themselves. Kinda neat, I can't say I dislike this. And I guess with all of that being said, let's just see it all in action.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.